15,000 military aircraft, combining all the branches of the military service.
15,000? That looks so cool, this thing. You definitely shouldn't mess with the US at all. Hi, I'm Chris and I'm from Germany, and I love to learn everything about the USA. And in this video, we are finding out why you shouldn't mess with America. My country messed with America twice, and it didn't go well for them, so I have an idea why nobody should mess with America, but I want to know why other countries should do that as well. So let's go into a reaction.
The collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 90s left the United States as the sole superpower in the world, and it's never looked back. In all aspects of the world, the United States is indeed a superpower, especially when it comes to its military might, which is unsurpassable in its strength, technological superiority, operational capabilities, and power
Yeah, we are benefiting so much from them, from the coverage of NATO.
projection across the globe. In this video, we'll take a look at the 5 top reasons why you wouldn't want to go against the US military establishment. The United States Air Force is the strongest in the world, not only in the number of operational aircraft, but also in technological superiority. The country currently operates a total of over 15,000 military aircraft, combining all the branches of the military service.
15,000 planes? How many planes are there in the world? 15,000 planes.
Including the US Navy, US Army, Coast Guard, and the US Marines.
Wow.
As of 2017, the US Air Force alone has a fleet of over 5,300 aircraft, 406 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and 170 military satellites, greater than any other country in the world. The USA has the largest number of stealth aircraft designed
This jet looks so cool. Is it real? Tell me.
to be silent killers and untrackable by the radar defense systems of most countries in the world. Some of these stealth aircraft include air superiority fighters, such as the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter.
This Raptor, I heard. I think Germany wanted them at some point.
Such as the B-2 Spirit.
Wow, that looks cool.
The United States pioneered this technology in the 1980s with the introduction of the F-117 Nighthawk stealth attack aircraft.
Wow.
Stealth aircraft are designed to avoid detection.
That looks so cool, this thing. It looks like a giant, I don't know, Batmobile.
Using a variety of technologies that reduce radar reflection from ground, sea, or air-based radar antennas, thereby reducing its radar cross-section, or RCS. This revolutionary technology allows a 5th-generation aircraft, such as the F-22 Raptor, with a max takeoff weight of 83,500 pounds, to have a radar cross-section of just...
Oh god, pounds. Like half in kilogram, right? 40,000 kilogram.
0.0001 meters squared, about the size of a bumblebee. What's more insane is that the massive B-2 bomber also has the same radar cross-section as the F-22 Raptor.
Please hit like and subscribe, it would help me so much. Thank you.
Thus, it becomes extremely difficult to track stealth aircraft. Even if the enemy spots them on their radar scopes, it's a whole other story to successfully track them and register a missile kill. The whole idea behind this technology is to break the chain in which a conventional surface-to-air missile defense system works. It's the same reason countries like China and Russia are also hard at developing their own stealth fighter, the Chengdu J-20 and the Sukhoi Su-57, respectively. These aircraft will allow the US Air Force to assert its air superiority over any battlefield of the future, and we all know that control of these skies is the biggest decider in any war. The next reason why any country going to war...
From what I've seen from the wars that we have right now, it's always the first strategy to bomb like the airports and stuff like this so that no other planes can start and land. If the US is that strong, it has like such a superiority over any other country, right?
With the US military should think twice is because of the strength of the US Navy and its dominance over the world's ocean, especially the Navy's supercarriers. The US Navy currently operates 11 nuclear-powered Nimitz-class supercarriers, which is the largest aircraft...
Tell me what Nimitz class is. Is this a special class? Is there a higher one? Is there a lower one? Tell me more about this.
...carrier fleet in the world. The only navy that can come close in terms of technological advancement is probably the Royal Navy of the United Kingdom, but they only have 2 operational carriers. The Nimitz class of carriers has a displacement of over 100,000 tons
Wow.
and can carry a complement of up to 70 aircraft. They're literally a floating small town in the ocean with its own airport.
That's so
The
cool.
Nimitz class carriers in themselves are extremely potent offensive weapons, but the way they operate in what is called the carrier strike groups makes these ships even more deadly. A carrier seldom deploys alone. There are always a fleet of surface and underwater assets surrounding them and forming a strike group. These include guided missile cruisers, a destroyer squadron, attack submarines, and other support vessels. Together, they project the power of the carrier
Awesome music, by the
and
way.
at the center of the group forward towards the enemy. While the carrier is carrying out its offensive role with the use of its air wing, the other ships are responsible to protect its flanks against any enemy attack. This combination of offensive and defensive strategy makes the US carrier strike group almost impenetrable. The United States Navy maintains 9 such carrier strike groups,
9?
8 of which are based in the United States and one that's forward deployed to Japan. For over 50 years, this has been the principal element of US power protection, and the Nimitz class of supercarriers are at the center of it all. Despite this, the US is currently in the process of developing a new class of carriers called the Gerald R. Ford class, intended to replace the Nimitz class ship.
Was Gerald Ford the guy who made Ford? Or was it a different guy? Like the car, I
This
mean.
new supercarrier will be even more technologically advanced and is expected to continue US dominance of the oceans well into the late 21st century. The third reason why you shouldn't fight the US military is their massive stockpile of nuclear and conventional
Oh, yeah.
intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The ICBM plays the role of the land leg in the US nuclear triad, along with the Trident submarine-launched ballistic missile, SLBM, and nuclear warheads carried on long-range strategic bombers. ICBMs are launched from ground-based missile silos, achieving high suborbital spaceflight, approximately 1,000 miles above the
I'm so glad that we are in NATO. Oh my god.
surface of the Earth. The body of the missile then separates from the warhead, which re-enters the atmosphere and free falls to the assigned target at hypersonic speeds. The US military currently operates 400 ICBMs from its base in Wyoming, Montana, and
Why do you need 400 nuclear missiles? That is... I mean, what do you want to bomb?
North Dakota. The LGM-30G Minuteman III is the only type of ICBM that is currently operational in the US. The Minuteman III family of ICBMs were first developed in the 1960s as a response to the Soviet nuclear threat. Throughout the Cold War and beyond, these missiles have undergone constant modernization. In the last decade alone, the US military has undertaken $7 billion worth of upgrades.
Wow.
The rocket propulsion engines, the propellants used, the guidance system, and even the flight control surfaces have all been refurbished. The upgraded missiles are completely different from its 1960s
Minuteman.
counterparts, except for the shell. These state-of-the-art improvements and modernization programs have kept the Minuteman III system operational for over 50 years with improved reliability that supports the missile's remarkable 99% alert rate. The latest versions of the missiles have a range of over 8,000 miles, which is greater than the diameter of the Earth at 7,917.5 miles. They can carry multiple 330 kiloton nuclear warheads, which is 20 times greater than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Not only that, each of these warheads can be assigned to different targets independently. The technology is called Multiple Independently Targetable Re-Entry Vehicle, or MIRV, and was first developed for the Minuteman III family of missiles. So any country messing with the United States will have to deal with this awesome arsenal of firepower, which can be launched at a moment's notice. If it weren't the ICBMs or the stealth fighters raining fire down on you, it would be precision-guided munitions, or better known as smart bombs or PGMs.
The video, we have to say one thing to the video, is incredibly well done. The music, the animations, the informations, everything is incredibly good.
Dead. This is another big reason why not messing with the US military is a good idea. All branches of the US military use smart bombs in some forms or the other. These weapon systems are designed to be precise and hit a specific target with maximum efficiency. These bombs are so effective that during the First Gulf War, PGMs comprised only 9% of weapons fired, but accounted for 75% of all successful hits. Since then, for the US military at least, the days of normal artillery shells and unguided bombs are long gone.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
I mean, it's
the military uses
way easier the other way, right?
PGMs from air, ground, and sea. Precision-guided munitions come in various forms and use different kinds of technologies to achieve precise hits. A large majority of PGMs use the Global Positioning System, or GPS, of satellites to guide their trajectory.
I'm asking myself, what does maybe AI do to all of these weapons? Maybe they get obsolete in 2 to 3 years because of the AI advancements. Do you know something about that? Tell me in the comments. I'm very curious about that.
To target. However, sometimes this becomes a problem, as GPS coverage is not always reliably available everywhere across the globe, or bad weather conditions can hinder operations. Thus, the Office of Naval Research, the Naval Surface Warfare Center, and the Army Research Laboratory have all coordinated to develop the first ever artillery-fired smart munition that will not use GPS guidance.
Okay.
The project is known as Moving Target Artillery Round, or MTAR for short. The MTAR shell can be
so many abbreviations. Oh my god, I will probably, in 2 days, I have forgotten all of them.
guided onto stationary as well as moving targets in both land and sea, using a combination of guidance technology. The best part is that these shells can be fired from the existing M777A2 155mm towed howitzer and the M109A7 Paladin Integrated Management self-propelled 155mm artillery systems already in use by the US military. The shells will also feature an extended range of 40 to 60 miles, using rocket boosters to propel them.
Not bad.
Once finished, it will afford the US military
Wait,
another
huh?
100 boosters to propel them. Once finished, it will afford the US
I thought for the first time it came out of his butt. Okay, I was like, hey, how can it
military
go out of
another
his
potent
butt?
weapon system that outclasses others around the world. Lastly, the fifth and final reason why you shouldn't fight the US military is drones.
Oh,
We're all
yeah.
familiar with what an unmanned aerial vehicle or drone is and what it's supposed to do. But in recent years, the usability of UAVs are steadily increasing to encompass all spheres of military operations, and the US military is the
I mean,
pioneer.
you don't even
spirit
risk man. It's a perfect thing, right? You can destroy opposite man or opponent man and don't risk your own man.
behind it. At first, used only for surveillance missions, drones were quickly weaponized after the 9/11 attacks and have been extensively
Wow, even after the 9/11 attacks. Wow, that's like 20 years ago.
used by the US military in the war against terror as an offensive weapon platform. It's forecasted that over the next decades, the US is in line to purchase over 1,000 combat drones of various classifications. Some of them, like the Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel and the Boeing MQ-25 Stingray,
Again, looks so cool.
are already in the final stages of development, and once finished, will
Yeah,
provide
tell me more about these drones if you know anything about this, or I don't know, maybe there are so many experts about this. I am definitely not.
the US military with state-of-the-art platforms capable of multi-role operations, ranging from attack missions to aerial refueling. Drone technology has reached such heights today that a single UAV can loiter miles above the surface of the Earth for hours, waiting for the target to show its head and sticking with impunity. This capability will allow all the services under the US military to reduce its dependency on manned platforms, thereby reducing the risks during future combat operations. These 5 weapon systems make the US military extremely dangerous for any adversary looking to get into a conflict with them. In a conventional warfare setting, it's almost impossible to beat the US military machine. That's why modern enemies of the United States are employing more and more asymmetric warfare strategies against the mighty US military. Despite that, the US military juggernaut is hands down the most powerful military complex in the world today.
For sure.
And probably will be for decades to come.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all we have for you today, folks.
Wow, that was an incredibly good video. And we can, after this video, we can tell one thing. You definitely shouldn't mess with the US at all. Oh my god. They are very powerful. I mean, they spend, I think, a lot about their military. And I think other discussions about, hey, we should spend maybe more on schools or stuff like this. Tell me, because in Germany, before Russia attacks, there would be definitely like discussions like that. And yeah, tell me more videos about the war, but I want to know, of course, the USA is big in general, so maybe also other videos, recommend them to me in the comments. I'm very curious to know, because you are probably American, so you know your country best. And please, I'm a very small channel, this is my first video, so please keep like and subscribe, because this helps me so much. I mean, every like, every subscribe helps me so much to push this video out to more people, so please do that. I thank you so much for that, and we see each other, I hope tomorrow, if I'm able to do it. And yeah, so keep liking and subscribing, and we see each other in the next video. Bye!